A flying boat carrying the British parliamentary delegation to India arrives at the marine airport, Karachi. Professor Richards, the leader of the delegation, and Brigadier Lowe are seen leaving the launch together with other members. Tired after a long air journey, the delegation was in no mood for statements, but press representatives and photographers were equally obstinate, and soon the members were surrounded by eager young journalists. The delegation was looking forward to a 6-week information collecting tour of India. News Parade's cameraman introduces Mr. Sorensen, Mr. Godfrey Nicholson, Mrs. Walid Nichol, Lord Coley and Lord Munster. And Mr. Bottomley seen between Professor Richards and Brigadier Lowe. From Karachi, the delegation flew to Delhi, where they held their first press conference. Members are seen in the veranda of the council hall, accompanied by local newspapermen. The members have before them a hectic program which will take them all over the country. In 6 weeks, they hope to get a balanced picture of a complicated situation. Inside the conference hall, the delegation face a barrage of questions covering a variety of topics. Individuals also address press representatives and emphasize Britain's desire to solve the political deadlock. One of the first items on the program was a visit to Peshawar, capital of the Northwest Frontier Province and home of the Pathan. Members visited villages in the neighborhood of Peshawar and through interpreters talked with the people. Professor Richards and Mr. Sorensen are seen in earnest conversation with the villagers. Dr. Khan Sahib, Premier of the province, was there to escort delegation members through the villages and to introduce them to Pathan families. During their tour of the Northwest, the delegates made every effort to meet the representatives of the people. India's rural areas were not ignored, for it is here that the future of the country will be determined. Pathans, famous the world over for their traditional hospitality, entertain members of the delegation to tea. Dr. Khan Sahib chats with Mr. Sorensen, who for many years has championed India's cause in Parliament. The parliamentary delegation also visited the frontier tribes on the border of Afghanistan. Here from the Khyber Valley, delegation members looked across into the mountain fortress of Afghanistan. Back in Peshawar, members of the delegation went to Nowshera to get their first glimpse of electioneering in India. Large crowds assembled for the launching of the Congress campaign. With great interest, they were the Congress party. The visit to India coincides with the general election, which will have a decisive effect on the country's constitutional future.